Chapter 5. Poppy had been hiking up the hill from the Greencliff train station for nearly 15 minutes when she realized that someone was following her. The leafy branches sprayed and it creaked high over her head. An endless birdsong charmed from every direction. Poppy had heard the sound of footsteps crunching gravel in the distance. She stopped it and turned around. Behind her was a clear view of the path she walked in minutes earlier. The conniving country road, the towering greenery, and way in the distance, glancing waters that transformed the Houston River into a wide, jewel-encrusted ribbon. When Poppy noticed the silhouette of a person at the bottom of the hill, she froze. She couldn't direct too many details, except that he looked small, maybe even smaller than she was. He was dressed in a black jacket, hiking pants, and he was carrying a large object on his back. Poppy couldn't make it out. Though the late August air was warm and the sun soared brightly, she felt a chill come upon her. She hitched her ratty pink messenger bag higher on her shoulder and continued walking up the hill, faster now, even though she wasn't sure she was even heading the right direction. In her bag, she carried a few possessions: a toothbrush, a face towel, a few pairs of socks and underwear, and her hollowed-out paperback copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was filled with several small trinkets that the girl had left under her pillow. As heartbreaking as it had been, she had to leave her collection of books behind at Tuesday Hope. In the letter, Great Aunt Daffodilla had promised that once Poppy made it to Luxembourg, she'll have everything in the world she ever want or need. New home, new school, new family. Before Poppy had managed scourge up the train fare to make the journey to Greencliff, she wondered if this would include some friends too. On the morning after she found the envelope in the filing cabinet, as Poppy brushed the tangles of her hair, the girl finally appeared in the bathroom mirror again. But she was no longer looked like the girl who Poppy had grown up with. Her face was a strange blur, as if she were rapidly unconscious, shaking her skull in all directions. Poppy felt as if she could hear the girl screaming. After all this time, finally trying to speak. It was a message Poppy understood, but what did it mean? Before she had a chance to think, the mirror had turned black, as if the room on the other side, the reflected one in which the girl was standing, had filled with thick, chunky smoke. Poppy gasped. A moment later, the mirror had cleared. The girl was gone again, taking the darkness with her. Whenever the girl had appeared since then, her face remained obscured by the disturbing and violent shaking. It was such a disconcerting sight that Polly began to avoid mirrors altogether. When she heard footsteps coming up quickly on the road behind her, Poppy instinct told her to run. But as soon as she took the first step, she stumbled on her shoelace and began to fall. She rolled onto the splat, twisting into a tumble, and then spun around to face the person who'd been chasing her, hands raised in protection. To her surprise, no one was there. The trees swayed above her. Light from the sky winkled between the wide green leaves. Far away around a bend in the road, she thought she could make out the sound of her fellow walker dragging his heels. So who had she just heard? Had the person dashed away into the woods? Maybe he was watching from somewhere off the road between the trees. Crazy Poppy, she heard in her head. The voices of the girls from Tuesday Hope taunting her still. Crazy Poppy, Crazy Poppy. To gain her bearings, she stood and took it in her surroundings. In the dense brush a few feet away at tall stone walls was confounded by twisted red vines and thin straplings running alongside the road's shoulder. Was this the boundary of Great Aunt Elia's estate? A dozen yards ahead, Poppy saw a wide gravel path branching off the main road into the woods, where the path intersected the wall. A space in the stonework opened up like a missing tooth in a wide dead grain. Two pillars climbed up from the forest floor to form an entryway. An ornamental iron railing connected the two pillars, its brush curlings broken and twisted, as if someone with abnormal strength had wrenched it apart. Below, where one would expect to find a pair of decorative gates, the space was empty, the woods beyond forming a tunnel that darkened as it went deeper. The sight made her mouth dry. Poppy stepped forward, then stopped at the edge of the driveway. That was when she noticed words engraved on the stone in the center of each pillar. Vicksburg. This was the place, her new home, with tall grass and weeds growing in specific patches at her feet. The driveway looked like it hadn't been crossed in decades. Confusion rattled her brain. Crazy Poppy. Poppy squeezed her eyes shut. Stop it! Maybe there was another gate further up the road, one that Great Aunt Elia Daffodilla used more frequently. These thoughts flew away when Poppy noticed something else carved into the pillars, directly beneath the name of the estate, a familiar symbol, a picture that Poppy could have drawn her memory. The outline of a bird. The image was the same as the twisted wire sculpture that the girl had removed from the pocket of her penfoil all those years ago, the first present that Poppy had found under her pillow the next morning. Something crushed the gravel directly behind her. Wide-eyed, Poppy stiffened. She glanced over her shoulder to find the road deserted. Footsteps moved all around her. Hello? she whispered. There was no one there, no one that Poppy could see. Poppy knew of another way, one that she was terrified to try, but she had to find out. Trembling, she removed her clamshell compact from her satchel and flipped it open. As she brought up the mirror to eye level, she was certain of who would it be there. But this time she peered into the glass. She jolted. In the mirror, the girl was standing several steps behind her. Now, however, the girl's whole body was shaking. She jerked it with lightning quick stamps, flickering like an image in a sped up film. Before Poppy could respond, the girl bolted forward. Coldness encircled her as the girl's arms twisted around Poppy's torso and squeezed. Poppy felt herself yanked backwards into the road away from Luxburg Gate. As she collapsed to the ground, she released a scream of such terror it sent all the songing birds cheering nervously from the safety of the high branches, screeching like echoes for her own voice up into the air. They dispatched it as Poppy lost her breath and the sky began to turn dark. End of chapter 5.